Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Animation Appreciation Podcast. I'm your host, Liliana Stargazer, and today we're doing another Cartoons in Review. This time we're covering SwatKats the Radical Squadron. So, this cartoon ran from 1993 to 1994 with reruns going throughout the 90s. Yes, this is a theme with me. I was born in the 90s, so yes, I watched a lot of 90s cartoons and can review them accordingly. This particular one was based in a fictional world full of anthropomorphic cats. They have their own air force called the Enforcers, used to supplement the police and oppose mutant or otherwise supernatural villains that plague the town of Mega Cat City, spelled with a K in cat and C in city. You'll notice that theme throughout this entire episode. Our two heroes were once on this little team, but were thrown off when they had the biggest, baddest villain, Dark Cat, with a K, in their crosshairs, and their commander, Commander Farrell, told them to back off so he could take him out, and they refused. Commander Farrell got in their way, and neither one got him. In fact, the dispute caused Farrell to launch a rocket into the Enforcer headquarters, and he claimed the two mains did it. The reason I continue to call him Commander Farrell instead of regular Farrell is during the series, his niece actually joins, and she is a lieutenant. So, for clarification purposes, I will continue to call him Commander Farrell. Now, let's go over who these two main boys are. They are a skinny blonde cat named Jake Clausen, who acts as the brains of the two. And his large, broad-shouldered, orange-striped tabby friend is Chance Furlong, the brawn. That's not to say that Chance isn't smart and Jake isn't strong. They're both clever and strong for their size. One just is more clever and the other is more strong. As punishment for destroying the Enforcer base, Chance and Jake are forced to pay for the damages by working in the city junkyard, which is owned by the Enforcers, and it's also a mechanic shop. At first, Chance is very furious, since it's not their fault and it was Farrell who missed. Then Jake points out they have enough of the right kind of scrap to make a jet of their own so they can become vigilantes. So they get to work, and when no one is looking, they build under the junkyard until a series starts, where they have a hangar with training equipment we see throughout the series, and a high tech jet, which just proves these two are highly intelligent. It is confirmed that no one can fly as good as Chance, and he is the in universe best, while Jake is the sharpshooter and still unrivaled. It should be mentioned that they call themselves the SWAT Cats when they act as vigilantes and use code names. Chance is T-Bone and Jake is Razor. They also have a communication device with the deputy mayor of the town, as the mayor is an idiot, who is also voiced by Jim Cummings. Yes, their jet does have auto lock when it comes to shooting, and as well as many other missiles and varying things. But as previously stated, without Chance's driving and Jake's sharpshooting, as in knowing when to shoot, then none of this tech would be useful, as we see with the Enforcers, who also have the same tech and constantly miss. Stormtrooper bad. It is a villain of the week type situation, but in all honesty, it's more than that. Commander Farrell throughout the series is always doing anything he can to find out who the SWAT Cats are. So much so that when robot villains called the Metallic Cats with a K were being caught, they actually found the base where the SWAT Cats are and saw them taking off their helmet and putting on their regular civilian gear so they know who they are. And when Commander Farrell found them and was going to take them in or use an EMF to disable them long enough for him to take them in, they said, "Wait, wait, 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 wait. We know who the SWAT Cats are. We can trade you that information for our freedom." And he just looks down at them, and for that moment, my heart dropped. I thought he was going to take the deal. And then he hits them with the EMF and says, "I don't make deals with criminal scum." So yeah, it just shows that there's characters in the background that grow and change, have their own motivation, their own morality and everything, that are more than just the main two. The villains are well designed and fun, as I said they would be in like Darkwing Duck. And honestly, the difference between them and Darkwing is the tone. I think it was aimed for a bit darker or older kids, but I can't confirm that. Okay, so that's what the show is. Now, what made it special? It was something about that adrenaline pumping intro with the guitar riffs and the two badasses in a jet taking on a dinosaur was just so eye catching. Of every other show on the same time period, I'm going to say this one was special in how dark it got. There's one episode where they blow up a building chasing a villain, and they're told someone was in there. It was Jake who pulled the trigger, and it's Jake who considered stopping being a vigilante simply because he thought he hurt someone. That's a really dark thing, and it was most of the episode before he figures out what happened. It actually wasn't until he went to visit the people in the hospital dressed as Razor from SwatKats instead of his civilian gear that he learned they were actors faking it to throw him off his edge. But up to that point, it was dealing with a life or death danger that they were putting everyone in the town in on. The episode is actually called Razor's Edge, and it's one of my personal favorites. There's another episode where we learn that Chance can't swim, and Jake spends the entire episode making sure he doesn't drown because he almost drowns in training. Then he almost drowns because the city floods. Yeah, of course, obviously that episode ended with Razor saying, "Yo, I'll teach you how to swim, no problem." They deal with villains whose whole issue is mental health, abuse, as well as a mix of those who are just jerkwads who act as recurring characters. The show dealt with really dark things while still being for kids and had such a dark tone with its animation that I feel it was made that's actually what made it special. How it balanced dark and kid friendly. Was it good at the time? I heard that while it was airing, it was super popular, and the only reason it was canceled is Cartoon Network felt like other shows that they preferred weren't getting enough attention, so they canceled ones like this and varying others. I am not joking. Cartoon Network executives said, but my new shows aren't getting attention. Cancel some of the old ones, the most popular. Not a joke. Stupid decisions by Cartoon Network executives is not a modern thing, it's just getting worse. That's actually why a lot of shows that were airing at this time, mostly by Hanna-Barbera, were canceled. So, does it hold up now? Heck yeah! I still love this dark, gritty world. If there were no and were there any major issues or controversies from when it aired to today that apply to the show? No. The most iffy moments are the two main are often seen popping open a cold one. But that being said, the cold one in question is just milk in a soda can because cats. So yeah, I think it holds up really well. I love this show and I always have. I still say cats alive when I'm surprised or frustrated at work. I still find that Jake is my favorite character to the point the voice actor was in my area, and the only reason I didn't go is a bloody snowstorm. Still disappointed, but oh well. I loved the one off and reoccurring villains as they always learned from each attempt to attack the city. There's even that one episode where the big bad, Dark Cat with a K, which is this world's biggest and baddest, had other villains working for him and almost won. This show does have all the tropes from the 1990s, which, every single one of them had an all the villains gang up on the hero episode. All of them had episodes of alternate reality where the heroes are truly the villains and the villains cross into the hero's world and everyone thinks the hero has transformed into some evil villain. And then there's that confusion of have the vigilantes turned to crime? And that was what every hero's vigilante show in the 90s did. And you know what? Each one did it differently. This one put its own spin to the point that I love it. And it's done in a way that isn't boring, bland, or same. So, yes, this is an amazing show, and I still love it to this day, and I feel it holds up. So, that's my review of SwatKats the Radical Squadron. I hope you will give it a try, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Thank you for listening, and as always, if it's animated, someone did it on purpose. Thank you, and have a great night.